Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So XRP right now trading at about 78 cents. We did see a bit of an uptick, albeit not by much, of course. The entire crypto market really just hasn't seen that demand, right? That buyer's demand that is going to get prices up. As you guys can see down here, still we're trading on very low volume. This has been the trend since pretty much since July, since we saw the end of that downturn for Bitcoin and thus for the rest of altcoins before this move up. But even on this move up here, we did not see too much trading volume. The same is true for Bitcoin as well. If I bring up Bitcoin here on the daily, you guys can see Bitcoin trading right now at about $43,000. And we're just kind of hovering here, right, in and around this level of support or demand zone. Very low volume down here. Volume did peter out at that exact same time at the bottom here in and around summer of 2021. And even upon this new rise for Bitcoin, even upon Bitcoin setting this new all-time high, the volume was still very low. So although there are buyers and sellers, and although price is going up and down and up and down, there just isn't that excitement, that FOMO, that euphoria, that interest right now in the crypto market. And so I thought I'd bring this to you guys at TXMC Trades. In my opinion, a big reason Bitcoin has been range bound for a year is an economic one. And so guys, here's a thread just describing this. The realized cap is the price at which every coin last moved, essentially the total value stored on chain. When it rises, it means capital inflows and coins repriced higher. Now, listen to this closely, guys. It's really important to note. April 2020 to May 2021, realized cap grew by 273%, so over 273%, then again by over 23% from May to November of 2021. Over $363 billion of supply spent to new hands in tandem with price up about 660%. That scale of coin repricing, okay, so think of it as the human digestive system. You eat the food and then it kind of needs to digest before the next thing happens. The scale of that was a weird analogy, but anyway, that scale of coin repricing takes time to digest for market participants to establish fair value. So there's kind of this unofficial period where time has to elapse before buyers and sellers can agree on that fair price. A market is a pendulumic nucleus at the mercy of two forces, supply and demand. And guys, this is what I've always said. Supply and demand. If the demand is there, Bitcoin price will rise. If the supply is too high, Bitcoin price will fall. And that's not just true for Bitcoin, that's true for anything really. Well, right now, because we're trading on low volume, there's low demand, low supply. And so, basically any type of trade is going to move the market. And so this, Bitcoin reaching that $69,000, which technically is a new all-time high, on low volume does not mean as much as if we're trading on higher volume. And so it's based on supply and demand. Demand drove us to new highs. Supply ultimately put on the brakes. In a climate like now with inconsistent demand and ready supply, price will naturally gravitate towards equilibrium, i.e. support. The price is merely the outcome of millions of investors managing their own risk reward. Of course, after dramatic repricing, the market requires time to find balance in the new playground for price to rediscover risk and reward. So remember, $30,000 plus is a relatively new concept for Bitcoin. We get mired in this idea that, we got to see higher prices. But think of it, guys, for a second, Bitcoin only hit $30,000 last January of 2021, right in and around here. Right in and around here was when Bitcoin finally saw $30,000 for the first time. And so what he's saying is that's a relatively new concept, and that Bitcoin, right, needed to find that buyers and sellers were happy buying and selling at that price. And so again, if we come back down to this price here, which is $30,000 roughly, that would be natural. And perhaps from there, we would see more volume, more activity in the trading market. No matter how much BTC is taken off exchanges, made illiquid or hodled long term, what drives a free market ultimately is a seeking of balance. Unless an external factor disrupts the signal, simple supply and demand will take their sweet time. And $363 billion of newly transferred Bitcoin may need many months for the dust to clear. The next time Bitcoin moons and realized cap grows by hundreds of billions, the process will begin again, and a new boundary for price and balance will be sought. So just sit back and hodl. So kind of another way to describe what's going on here, of course, using that $30,000 example for Bitcoin, which is a relatively new price point. Of course, we just saw it about a year ago. We did retest it back in the summer. And so could we retest it yet again? Could we see more excitement, more buyers and sellers, higher volume come into Bitcoin at that $30,000 price? Well, Michael at Val5 Links brought this up. I think it's important to note Rio de Janeiro intends to invest 1% of its treasury reserves in Bitcoin. So just some key takeaways here. Rio de Janeiro intends to invest 1% of its treasury reserves in Bitcoin, says the mayor, Eduardo Paes. He revealed that just last Thursday. The city also plans to introduce additional discounts for property taxes paid in Bitcoin. So today, Rio is expected to publish a decree establishing a working group that would handle the issues concerning the Bitcoin investments. So boom, another South American country, Brazil, and this city in particular, Rio de Janeiro, looking to invest in Bitcoin, taking a page perhaps out of El Salvador's playbook. So this just going to the point that, Bitcoin is looking more and more popular as the months go on and not less and less popular. Perhaps if we do see it fall to that $30,000 mark, a lot of buy orders could pump it up real quickly. Also wanted to bring this to you guys, XRP Crypto Wolf posting this. XRP and other cryptocurrencies to be accepted in Britain's first crypto cafe. So Chai Ada, or ADA, a newly opened coffee shop in West London, is on track to accept 7 cryptocurrencies. A list of accepted coins will include Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, Horizon, and other options. Taib Shafiq, the cafe's owner, says that he wants to offer more cryptocurrencies due to scaling issues by the 2 largest players. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum have the highest market cap, but they also have high gas fees, so we wanted to make sure that customers get the best for their money. Of course, offering XRP, not a bad idea. He believes that cryptocurrencies and the metaverse hold a lot of promise, predicting that they will become mainstream in the future. So this guy sounds like he is on the right track, accepting payment in cryptocurrencies at his cafe in West London. If any of you guys do live in West London or nearby and do happen to go to this cafe, please do let me know about that experience. I always think it's interesting to see how, these types of experiments, I guess I could call them, play out with different types of businesses. Of course, coffee, everybody drinks coffee, so there's definitely likely somebody who is willing to pay in cryptocurrencies. I know where I live, there's a sushi place that accepts Bitcoin. I've never paid in cryptocurrency there, but I did ask him about it, and he said, yeah, we don't have too many customers paying in cryptocurrencies. Anyway, still an interesting story. I'm sure we're going to see more small businesses accepting cryptocurrencies in the future. There's also this idea of fiat being debased, so that could also lead more small businesses to be accepting cryptocurrencies. But I want to keep moving, guys. This is another one from XRP Crypto Wolf. Ripple and its ODL partners moved 140 million XRP. So more XRP is moving through exchanges. Close to 140 million XRP tokens were shifted by Ripple and several top-tier crypto trading venues, with a couple of Ripple's on-demand liquidity partners among them. Whale Alert detected 5 transfers carrying from 16.5 million to 50 million tokens each. And so we got some of those tweets screen grabbed down here. One was for 20 million XRP through coins.ph. They are a verified ODL exchange. Another one was for another 20 million from Bitso to Bittrex. And then 55 million XRP were shifted by leading South Korean exchange BitThumb, and that was done between its internal wallets. We're seeing a lot of XRP moving, guys. I think there are going to be some big announcements soon, and the XRP price, of course, just poised to pop at any moment. And, once the FOMO kicks in, we know that this happens every single bull run. You should be buying when the prices are low, but once that FOMO kicks in, people tend to get excited. The demand for XRP rises. This is how price continues to rise, and then people like you and me who bought when the prices were low will sell for mega profits. And so, there's not just the spec market. Of course, utility is also going to play a large factor in this story. And Ripple just posted this. Palau president Surangel S. Whips Jr. talks about his plans for the crypto forward nation, including how Ripple will help Palau deliver digital wallets to every resident. So we did just hear recently that Ripple was working with Palau to roll out their CBDC. Well, the 20,000 person country is turning to blockchain in a digital revamp of its entire economy. They're partnering with Cryptic Labs to launch the world's first digital residency program. The program uses Cryptic Labs' root name system technology, allowing anyone from around the world to apply. Once approved, users can issue a non-fungible token or an NFT of their digital resident ID cards, giving them access to Palau's based perks like shipping services and a physical address. But that's not all the island has in store. Of course, here's a quote: "Having been dependent on tourism, we've really suffered financially with the pandemic." This coming from the president. "Leaning into blockchain, starting with this partnership seemed like a natural step for us. The partnership is just the first blockchain-related venture WIPS has planned for the island nation in the coming years," he said, citing how countries like Singapore and El Salvador have been able to diversify their economies with a digital-first approach. He goes on by saying, "We're working on having a crypto exchange here. We're working on a stablecoin. We're working on a corporate registry. And we know they did sign a memorandum of understanding with crypto payments firm Ripple, as mentioned here, to make that happen." So Palau definitely on track. They are also now offering this digital residency program, which sounds quite interesting. I gotta say, Anderzel picking up on this, not sure what is going on, but Ripple is now helping Palau to deliver digital wallets to residents. And just recently, Palau introduced a new law which makes it so that people around the world can become digital residents of Palau for only $50. And so XRP You Amaze Me says, what benefits would you imagine there be in having a digital residency of Palau? Anderzel saying, I'm not sure what is planned, but I believe it's more than meets the eye. So some interesting points here, guys. Palau on track, of course, a nation of only 20,000 people. They do have to pivot considering what has happened with the economy during the pandemic and travel and tourism. That industry has been decimated. So some interesting news here posted by Ripple. Some insight here from Anders L. and XRP You Amaze Me. There was also this, guys, don't know if you saw this, XRP Crypto Wolf posted this. Attorney Jeremy Hogan recently released a new video. And so I don't know if you guys have seen this video. He was giving his latest update on the Ripple and XRP case in a move that added frustration within the digital space, namely among XRP investors and legal advisors for cryptocurrency firms and foundations. The expert discovery in the SEC Ripple lawsuit has been extended one more month, as we know. The change in schedule, though, has led XRP community leading figure, attorney Jeremy Hogan, to sum it up and conclude that the case will likely meet its judicial end in August or September of 2022. So we were first hearing April of 2022. Jeremy Hogan did mention that just a few weeks ago. But now that we have this push in the timeline, now it's looking like August or September of 2022 could in fact be when we finally hear a verdict about XRP. Of course, guys, we are still looking into 2022 for that bull run to continue. I was zooming Q1 or perhaps even into Q2. But let's not forget, right, even if Bitcoin does go on its final leg up, which would entirely not be associated with the Ripple XRP lawsuit, right, even when we saw it hit this new all-time high back in April, before it came crashing back down, right, let's not forget what happened with other altcoins, including XRP. Okay, XRP also saw a rise in that moment in time. So, I'm not too concerned about XRP price being stifled specifically by the lawsuit. We did see a 400+% gain during that same period of time. So, even if we don't have the clarity, I think the spec market will just react and XRP will react along with it. The lawsuit is a big deal, but guys, it is not everything. Gonna shift gears, guys, because I also thought this was worth mentioning to you guys with regards to this discovery by the Wrath of Kahneman. He says, forgive me if you've seen this before, but here's a recent patent from Goldman Sachs. Systems and methods for updating a distributed ledger based on partial validations of transactions, mentioning validation servers that could handle Ripple. And so he links the patent, guys. I'll go to the patent in a second, but here's the highlighted passage that I wanted to read for you. For example, each of the validation servers, 130 and 132, may be associated with an asset, i.e. a fiat currency such as US dollars or euros, a cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin or Ripples, yeah, they call them Ripples, or any other suitable type of asset such as bonds, and operated by the issuing authority of that asset. So they mention Ripple directly in this patent, systems and methods for updating a distributed ledger based on partial validations of transactions. Distributed ledger technology, guys. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty. These patents can be very dense, but I will leave this in the description for you if you're interested in all the nuts and bolts, all the details. The interesting thing, though, is that within the last year, this was filed by Goldman Sachs, distributed ledger-based systems and methods for updating a distributed ledger based on partial validations and transactions, mentioning the only two cryptocurrencies mentioned, Bitcoin and Ripple for transactions. Of course, we know Goldman Sachs, being a bank, very, very familiar with what Ripple and XRP can achieve. Wrath of Kahneman goes down saying the revelation mention is at 0037. Note, the patent is for a new system that protects privacy, but one that might handle Ripple and BTC transactions as well. And yes, they call them ripples. From what I understand, it is an interesting centralized solution to the issue, as opposed to, say, ZKP, Fedora, etc. Who knows if it sees the light of day, but at least we can see some planning that makes mention of Ripple and XRP. It's recent enough, I don't think it's been noted, but you never know. So again, this was just from the last year, but I had not heard about this. I don't know if you guys have. So my apologies if this is old news to you. Nevertheless, something interesting that we should be paying attention to, because do you guys remember just last month? This coming from Bank XRP, Goldman Sachs did in fact list Ripple, Coinbase, and Circle as the opportunity in payments accelerating use cases in the overview of digital assets and blockchain November 2021 report. So this was actually from a couple of months ago, posted in December, an official PDF from Goldman Sachs, the opportunity in payments, accelerating use cases. If you guys remember, I did a video on this back then. Banks to join RippleNet to process cross-border payments in real time with end-to-end tracking and certainty. Available in 55 plus countries across 6 continents, RippleNet makes it easy to connect and transact across robust networks for financial institutions. With RippleNet, financial institutions can expand payment offerings into new markets that are otherwise difficult or expensive to reach. So Goldman putting this out. The other thing I wanted to mention about Goldman Sachs, back from September of 2021, this is all after this patent was filed, by the way, Goldman Sachs expert, he said Ripple has the potential to change the world. So Goldman Sachs, or rather Ripple, on Goldman's radar. A former Goldman Sachs exec named Andrew Lockenoth believes Ripple is going to change the financial world, and I did a video about this when this came out. He said Ripple will redefine online payments, and I believe Ripple will likely go public once the SEC lawsuit is resolved. The main advantages of using the Ripple protocol are speed and reduced risk. XRP is a replacement for Swift, which is expensive and slow. So another exec, a former exec from Goldman Sachs talking about this, of course. This points to the fact that Goldman seriously interested in perhaps taking this technology and patenting an idea, perhaps for themselves, so that they can get a competitive edge against the competition. I mean, I know everybody can use XRP and RippleNet, and anybody can sign up, pay the money to be a RippleNet user. So what does this particular patent mean? Considering they are saying systems and methods for updating a distributed ledger based on partial validations of transactions. Could this be Goldman's attempt to play the game against their competitors who may just be using RippleNet in the traditional sense? And I mean, being a CEO of an American bank, I'm sure if you are interested in using a RippleNet product, you are paying very, very close attention to what's going on in the XRP lawsuit. And even the sheer fact that this patent was filed. I mean, could that even be pointing to the fact that they see a bright future for RippleNet in America that suggests a positive verdict in the lawsuit? It's a possibility. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.